I opened my eyes. The calamity was unreal.
The metaverse is now complete. This is my last offer, Ricky Goldsworth. Join your daughter and the rest of humanity.
He stood before me. I was defenseless. Yet I know he could just kill me. But he didn't. No, I'll never accept this. This isn't what David wanted. This isn't what Ruby would have wanted.
Don't speak her name, you fool. I created this metaverse for her. You weren't the only one cursed with nightmares. Ricky Goldsworth, do you really believe I kill for no reason? To save a life, you must sacrifice another. As she died in the metaverse, every single day, I try to perfect the metaverse, balancing its beauty and purpose. I had to lose my sanity to save her.
You already know my answer. I would never join you. You've hurt too many innocent people. This isn't life, Richard. You have to let her go. Death is a natural part of life. You can't change that. You can't live forever.
Then so be it. You have rejected my gift of eternal life. Let this be the last rebellion you fight.
Richard Rowe walked up to the computer screen. He grabbed wires and started to connect himself once again to the computer. He transferred himself to the metaverse, and it seems as though it would be permanent. I was alone. The body of the other Arthros laid about on the ground alongside other soldiers. Richard Rowe won. I failed everyone. Richard Rowe had left me alive, but for what reason? I saw the computer screen. Richard Rowe appeared in a completely new form. He was adorned with the deadly dark Dominus. His followers, Epsilon, Delta, and another who I didn't know too well, but it must have been Rust_010. Finally, there it was. Another Neo. There were many more of them. John Doe and Neo must have failed as well. In the end, no hero rose to save them.
Ricky Goldsworth, you have been my greatest enemy, but my most respectable rival. I will let you live, so as to see your daughter's funeral one last time.
What? Penelope?
She has been given the proper burial, but her soul located here, however, you will have the honor of witnessing the power of the deadly dark Dominus. This will be the last time we will meet. This will be my parting gift. Bring the girl.
Delta had brought my daughter before them all. She was crying. I couldn't help her. We were a universe apart. I felt hopeless. I tried yelling for them to stop, until it happened. Richard Rowe pierced her with a blade. She started to slowly disintegrate from existence.
Farewell, Ricky Goldsworth.
It was the last thing he said before teleporting his followers. He had left me to witness my daughter's execution. I looked in my pocket. Perhaps I could still save her. I grabbed a random USB out of hurry and plugged it in where I could. She kept disintegrating. I pressed a few buttons. I didn't know what I was doing. I was in too much desperation trying to transfer her soul onto the drive that the computer started sparking. The screen blacked out. I tried to grab the USB drive, but it shocked me at the slightest touch. Everything blacked out. I was alone in an empty facility. She was gone. There was no way to bring her back. Penelope was dead. My knees buckled. I could feel the tears forming and falling down to the ground. I had lost her once over a year ago. I had lost her for a second time. Permanently. I felt a vibration from my phone. I looked at it. They were coordinates. It's where they had buried the body. I looked up. I saw a man walking towards my direction. I had forgotten to leave since this was a government facility. I prepared myself just in case I needed to confront whoever they were. But the man who came looked familiar. To my surprise, it was President Nick carrying a large suitcase. "What do you want?" I scowled. I didn't have any more energy to do anything, though the pain in my abdomen was getting worse as the hours passed by. I came to help you. I knew Richard Rowe would come here. None of us had the courage to do anything. We were all against this. We were all scared. He had become too powerful once we realized the severity of the situation. During the time, I have been secretly creating 2 devices that would help save everyone in the metaverse, President Nick stated. What's the point? I said. Even if we managed to destroy and delete the metaverse, it would kill everyone inside of it. Then we would have 1 billion dead bodies lying around. There's nothing that can save them now. No, these are different. I studied the power of the Deadly Dark Dominus and reverse engineer its design and made this. Its direct opposite, the Heavenly Light Dominus. It's still incomplete. It needs to be injected into the metaverse so that it counters the effects of the Deadly Dark Dominus. So Richard Rowe won't be like a god? I asked. No, because of the presence of the Heavenly Light Dominus, Richard Rowe would need both Dominus in order to take control of the entire metaverse. He will still be very powerful, there's no arguing that. But as there exists darkness, it is only because it is in the absence of light. What's the other device? I asked. Dominus Infinity. And that's where your help comes in. You have Dominus Omega, don't you? I need all the drives you have to convert them. I nodded and pulled out the USB drive that contained the Dominus. I looked at the USB drive that I tried to save Penelope in. I grabbed that just in case it could have any use. The president opened his comically large suitcase. It was a computer that also functioned as a suitcase. There were 4 large USB drives inside of them. Nick messed around a bit with the computer complex, and after an hour, he was able to boot up one of the computers. He plugged the first 2 USB drives into the computer, and I watched as the 2 avatars materialized into the metaverse. John Doe and Neo. They were still alive. How did you... Once Richard left for Area 51, I took them out of the metaverse. They were outnumbered by the followers of Richard Rowe. We never got to thank you for that, said Neo. So what's your big plan with the Dominus? We can't be seen here with the Dominus bonded to us. They'll have our heads in a matter of seconds. John Doe pitched in. I developed items called drivers, the Lambda and Neo drivers, respectively. They'll help you morph and transform back to normal. Just as long as you keep your identities a secret, they will work like a charm. I handed the USB drives to Nick, who then plugged in the Omega and Mu drives. I'll create the Omega driver and Mu driver, respectively. I wanted to help, but I was still in too much pain from my daughter's loss. I just watched as Nick created the drivers. I looked at the last 2 USB drives I had. The USB killer that had failed me. I was useless. I have no more purpose anymore in this fight. Hey Nick, could this be of some use? John Doe said while materializing a Dominus. I happened to pick this up. Dominus Sigma. I looked at the Dominus he was holding. Sigma. I recognized that Dominus. The one that's used for duplicating Roblox accounts. Perhaps, Nick said. I need to develop an AI that can use the Heavenly Light Dominus, and a Dominus that can handle that power as well. Then I had an idea. Hey Nick, I may have an idea that might just work. All I ask is that you have trust in me and my plan. Oh, I trust you all right. After your performance and determination, it's true what they say. The most dangerous kind of person is the one that has nothing to lose, Nick said. He handed me the drives to the Heavenly Light Dominus and Dominus Infinity. I then plugged in the Cheesecake drive into the metaverse. The empty avatar appeared. Her code had been replaced. I couldn't help but feel a small drop of hope form in my heart. I created an AI, with the USB killer as the base of this Robloxian. It would be completely different from the rest. This AI would be cunning and smarter than the other AIs. Its name would be Jackal, the destroyer of AIs. I asked John Doe for Dominus Sigma. With the help of Nick by my side, we were able to create the Sigma driver. I injected Jackal into the metaverse. It would hide in the shadows, killing off the followers of Richard Rowe one by one. With the Cheesecake AI from the USB drive, I created another AI, the Chosen One. This AI would be specifically designed to use the Heavenly Light Dominus, and it would ultimately be the weapon that kills Richard Rowe. "Are you ready to inject the Dominus?" Nick asked. "More than ready," I replied. Nick injected the drivers including Dominus Infinity in the metaverse, and onto John Doe's hands, both the Omega and Mu drivers. I injected Jackal into the metaverse. However, I located him in a different area, just in case he went rogue like the other AIs. Though I doubt he will, but there is always a just in case. Finally, it was time for the Heavenly Light Dominus to enter the metaverse. But before we did, I asked one more thing to John Doe and Neo. "If any one of you want to leave the metaverse, tell me. I will understand, especially you, Neo." I remembered the warning John Doe mentioned. "Right. Neo. If another Neo dies, you will end up losing your humanity. The soul of another Neo and you will fuse together, creating a more savage and deadlier version of you. Dark Emotion Neo." Neo paused for a moment. "I've been through a lot for the past month. I lost my parents because of this AI. I finally have something that will help me fight. But for everyone who's looking for a hero to fight for them, a hero to stand up for them, a hero to save them, I will continue the fight with Dominus Neo. As for me, you know my answer. I will stay as well," Lion said. "Then with your heart of silver bravery, Lion, you will be entrusted with the Lambda driver. And for you, Neo, with the blue ferocity of Predator X and Koreaceratops, you will be entrusted with the Neo driver. I ask both of you for one more favor. Protect the Chosen One to save the metaverse. Her life is precious to me." They both nodded. "Aren't you going to fight using the Omega driver?" Nick asked. "No, it's too late for me. I know there's someone out there who is worthy of the Omega driver, and even more worthy of Dominus Infinity. It's time for me to go now. I have reversed the damage that Richard Rowe has done. Now I can finally rest, knowing that she is in no more pain. David Wazuki will be back, no worries." "I respect you, Ricky," Nick said. "Fare thee well," I said as I headed out to visit her.